I bought this handheld retro game console for less than 40 quid on Black Friday, and I regret it, but not for the reasons you might think. It came in a simple box that looked like it had been dropped a few times. Inside there is a console in white, a USB charging cable, an AV cable, a pair of cheap-looking earphones, and an instruction booklet containing teeny tiny writing. On the top of the unit we have a power switch, TV and headphone sockets, a USB port, and a microphone. On the bottom is the SD card slot with an 8GB card claiming 1800 plus games, although many are variants. On the back there's a speaker on one side but not the other. On the front there's standard game controls plus a mini joystick for your thumb. It's about the same size as a mobile phone. It's not as wide or deep as my Evercade EXP, but does have a similar screen size. It is quite light at 143 grams, exactly half the weight of the solidly built Evercade. You have to wait about 6 Mississippis between switching on and it starting. Then you get a montage of fighter cartoons before the main menu screen appears. At the top of the screen there are shortcuts for some games. At the bottom of the screen there are various icons for applications such as video, music, settings and some other things. The screen is not very high resolution at 480 by 272 and the viewing angle is a bit restricted, but it's colourful and functional. If you don't want to play one of the games on the main screen, you need to go into the game directory and scroll through pages of files. I haven't found a search facility yet. Eventually you should find something to play. The controls are a bit rattly, but to be fair they don't feel fragile. Most of the games are from the 80s up to mid-90s. Most play fine, but some later titles do get a bit jerky. You notice music slows or goes out of time occasionally. For £40 you can't expect too much in terms of performance, I suppose. If you want to connect to a TV, you can use the included AV cable. It's only 2 feet long, so you might have to sit quite close. You need to go to the settings menu to configure the output for TV. If your TV doesn't have AV inputs, you'll need an AV to HDMI adapter, which will cost you more money, and it'll need a power supply. On my PAL TV, the screen didn't quite fit even when I changed the telly's display settings, but it's still usable. Before I show a selection of games, I wonder if you could take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Every subscription and every like really helps. For me, this console is a bit of a toy, and to be fair, it's probably aimed at kids. For 40 quid you can't expect too much. The screen is poor by modern standards, finding games isn't easy, there's no Bluetooth, and there weren't that many games I was interested in, but it is cheap and functional. If you don't want to spend a lot of money, you can have fun with it. My concern, and the reason for my regret, isn't the performance as much as the potential waste. I can imagine a lot of these being bought, used for a few weeks and then chucked in the electronic junk drawer, ultimately adding to the world's plastic waste problems and encouraging the manufacture of more. If you need to keep costs down, you accept the limitations and you'll really play with it, then fine. But if not, then I suggest you consider saving your pennies to buy something better that you'll be interested in for longer.